They gonna think I want a Grammy. They gonna think I want a Grammy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Creative Contact. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. This is a very important episode, y'all. Very, very important because your boy is officially done as a nomad. I know, been a long time coming. Officially 8 years, almost 8 years. It'll be, I think, in early May. I'm gonna double check the date. I'm gonna do like a whole almost 10 years of nomad breakdown, blah, blah, blah. When it happens, but we aren't quite there yet. So in lieu of that, because I am finished for the most part traveling, at least for the foreseeable future, settling in my roots, putting roots down, wanted to do over under ranked cities. Also, I'm rocking off the phone again because my boy, shout out, you know who you are, told me that it didn't sound half bad. So I'm not going to even buy a new microphone. I'm just going to keep rocking off the phone. But if the audio sounds trash, let me know. Okay, so before we get into this, I want to preface it with a couple things. The first one is, these are my ideas. These are one man's perspective. I will say some things that will offend you. That is a fact. That is a guarantee on this episode. You will have different opinions than me. That is fine. Everybody's experience in these places is different. I think there's also something about the experience that you have in the place. That sounds obvious, I know, but so much of what I've found really makes or breaks the place is how your experience goes. And two people can have completely different experiences. And I think there's something about this when it comes to the picture of different. I'm painting with a really broad brush, and I'm just kind of I'm hedging that up front. So that way, when I say some shit that rubs you the wrong way, you know that I'm aware how much I'm generalizing. Okay. So with all the hedging out of the way, I also wanted to say that, you know what, I'll say that for later. Let's jump into this. So my criteria before you go throwing stones at your boy is going to be very different than yours. For me, I'm an old soul, so that doesn't necessarily mean that I need it super quiet, but nightlife to me is basically, that doesn't get factored at all into these decisions because I go to bed at 9. So that doesn't really matter to me. A lot of things that matter to me are things like how do I feel when I'm there? What's my interaction like with the people? Is the infrastructure good? What's I love eating. So I'm not a party guy. So everything, instead of, you just replace partying with eating instead. And that's kind of the way that I get down. So food is important to me. And that doesn't necessarily mean the local food has to be killer, but if they don't have killer local food, do they have an assortment of possible Western food or other Asian food around or other Latin American food, whatever it is. So food is big. Convenience is big. How walkable it is big. Convenience of being able to call a cab. Those sorts of things to me play into this decision a lot more. At the beginning, nomad community was really important. So that is something I'll touch on. But to me, that doesn't really matter anymore because I got my little Colombian wifey. I'm just kind of locked in. I'm working on my writing and my day job, but I'm really trying to break out the day job and become a novelist. So, I'm not trying to go out and really shake hands and kiss babies as much as I used to. Just a different point in my life. Maybe that'll change in the future. So without further ado, let's jump into this. I'm not going to be doing a super complex breakdown of every city. I'm going to probably give a couple thoughts underrated, overrated, properly rated, and how I feel about it. Okay, let's jump in. This also isn't chronological. So I'm going to be skipping around a little bit, kind of by continent and country. I'm going to break it down by cities instead of countries because you can have such different experiences depending on what city you're in. And for me, a lot of these are places that I've spent a significant amount of time in, but that's kind of titrated up and down. Some of these I've spent years in. Some of these have been a month. So keep that in mind. But we are going to start it with good old fashioned Asia because that's where this whole journey started. So I feel like we had to start with Chiang Mai, Bangkok, two of, I think, still the greatest nomad cities. I think these are properly rated. I think some people might call them overrated, but this is how crazy this shit is. I think these cities I love these cities so much that I still don't think they're overrated. Yes, they're the ones everybody talks about, but there's good reason why. Compared to other cities that everybody talks about, they're not good reason why. So I'm a little bit bitter, I'll admit. But I love Thailand. I think in terms of like just the mix, infrastructure for the price, people, food, nomad, homies, like it's super convenient. It's very safe. Like the people, like other Thais in general have a very high level of English. And so I really cannot stress enough. This is not the Thai Islands. I've never been to any of them. So your mileage may vary out there, but when it comes to Chiang Mai, Bangkok, especially because I have such great memories at Chiang Mai, and that was where this whole thing started. And Lena, my girlfriend, asked me the other day, she was like, Kia, she's like, whenever you talk about like your friends, it seems like you always talk about Chiang Mai, like you met them in Chiang Mai. And this is almost 10 years now that I've been friends with these people, you watching this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It was just a special time. I think it was an era. We were all kind of like on our startup hustle shit. I went back a couple years ago, about 2.5 years ago now. Wasn't the same. I think because I was in a different part of my life. And my people aren't there. And so it was just, it is different now. But still fire. Bangkok, still fire. I spent some time there and I can see how people love it. I really can. It's like the night, for me as like an old man, there's so much I'm missing out on because it has such a vibrant nightlife, but still, and like Thai food, come on, let's be real. Properly rated. Da Nang, moving on to Vietnam. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, I think Da Nang is properly rated. Like, I think it's one of those cities that has been on the rise. I don't want to be like all hipster about it. Be like, I was on it before it was cool. I think I caught it on the wave. I wasn't like before the wave. I caught it definitely on the wave. But I think Da Nang's properly rated. Like, I think there's a reason why my spells are good. I think there's a reason why people like these cities. Again, I had a great experience. I had a friend come when I was there and he hated it. He's like, yeah, this is trash. Like, there's tons of construction. So that's what I'm saying is like, you're going to have a different criteria than I do. For me, I loved it. I actually loved Vietnamese food. I had a friend go back recently and she was like, yeah, this food is trash. She was like, I hate the pho. Like, if you're used to Western standards, yes, a bowl of pho in Vietnam is going to be different than the pho that you get for like $20 a bowl in whatever US, Canadian city you're in. But for $1 a bowl, the pho is popping. And I really like Da Nang because you're on the beach. I think you have a great mix of, you're like on the beach, but you also have city. I was thinking about this the other day too. Some of the best massages I've ever had were in Da Nang. Like the way that Vietnamese, I don't know about a ton of like parlors, but like the way that I experienced my massage, like it was a process. I went to some Turkish baths recently with my mom. And I was, shout out Turkish baths. They're like super ancient, but I was like, dude, that's what made me think about it. I was like, I wish I was in Vietnam. Like the Vietnam massages are just next level. They do this thing with hot stones on your back to put a little like eye mask on you. It's different than like being like tossed on a big slab of rock and scrubbed down by like a large hairy Turkish man. So, to each their own. You might be into that. The steam baths. But for me, I love Da Nang. I love Vietnamese food. It is loud. There's lots of construction, but like Vietnamese also don't love like the sunshine in terms of like they don't want to get burned. So like the beach is yours for like a lot of the day. You might be out there with like some crazy Russians and shit, but in what part of the world are you not going to be around with crazy Russians at this point when you're by the beach? Let's be real. Properly rated. Hanoi. I still love Hanoi. I also, this is crazy. I think Hanoi's underrated. I do. Yes, people talk about it, but like I don't feel like I talk to many people that spent much time there. Da Nang obviously gets a lot of shine. Saigon gets a lot of shine. Ho Chi Minh, but I think Hanoi is like still slept on as much as that is like, that might sound like blasphemy. It's such a cool city. It has the French influence. So you get like a lot of good French breads. Like they have these, it's banh mi. It's like this little like sandwich you can get for like a couple bucks out of like a little truck thing. And there's like the city of lakes. Like there's just all this water. I remember again, my experience there. I just locked in. I was practicing Muay Thai every morning, walking around the lake. I got this like really cool little studio apartment. Like it's really lush. It rains a lot. I really love Hanoi. And, the architect, it's just a cool like Asian French combo. To me, underrated. Okay, moving right along to Malaysia. I don't know why that took me so long to think of it. Kuala Lumpur, overrated. Shoot me. A lot of nomads talk about Kuala Lumpur because it's modern, amenities, blah, 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 blah. I think taxes and shit, I don't really know. maybe if I was like next level with my business, maybe, but like to me, Kuala Lumpur was overrated. I've never loved my time there. The only time I loved Kuala Lumpur and I cried when I arrived, bars, was when I flew back there from India, because just walking through the airport, I was like, to have infrastructure again was so nice, and just to have like nice things. But it's beautiful in its own way, but it's like, I don't find it like super walkable, because yes, you can walk around, but like things are so disconnected, and the way the city's laid out is, it's like it's not like people have like homes. It's like, at least my perspective, my experience of it is like people live in like huge apartment towers that are like part of like malls and plazas, and you need a car to get everything's like really like spread out. I've never had a great time there. When I stay there, I stay in Chinatown, and the food over there is actually decent. Malaysian food is really good, but like I like the Chinatown vibe just because I find it walkable. It's just it's just key is speed. Don't love Kuala Lumpur, but I really enjoyed my time in Georgetown. I've stayed there twice in my life, and for numerous times. The first time was, I think, it was a couple weeks, maybe a week or two. The second time was for, I think, a couple months, maybe 3 months. I like Georgetown. Again, you're right on the water. Food is good. People speak English because it's like this mix of 3 cultures. It feels very safe too. You have like the Muslim influence, so it feels like people like are very religious and very like on their spiritual path. And so I've always felt like you can ask my mom. She came out, I think I had her come out and visit me, and she cried. I think that first night she's like, my boy, like, because she like was so sad where I was living, but I was basically living in the projects, but it was cool. It was cheap. And I felt like I was like part of the people, and it was like in this big, it was a big project building. And there was like a shitload of roaches, and it was like the elevators didn't work. So I was walking up and down 16 floors, like 16 stories every day, up and down. But like, I like walking. So it was cool. And they have a lot of parks and green space. I really love Georgetown. Beautiful also in so far as like the architecture is like really colorful. They have a lot of street art. It's kind of known for that. So I think Georgetown is properly rated, because people make a lot of hullabaloo about it, like the UNESCO stuff. But, I still think like low key people don't really know about Georgetown like that. So especially for living, like you might go to visit, but it's actually a nice place to live. Okay, a couple other Asian spots. We'll move to Latin America. Get me back in focus. Bali. Bali's a no-go for your boy. Bali is super overrated. Bali is the toxic nomad capital of the world. Not my thing. I have some friends that love it. One of my best friends, you know who you are, is out there right now. That's like her happy place. So Ubud, Canggu, and the other spot that's down there, I forget what it's called. Like, it's near the airport. Like, it's one of the places you go into. I spent a little bit of time out there too. 3 lake spots on Bali. But I think Indonesia has some other really cool places. It's like duh. But I think there's some other islands around that could be cool if they aren't totally like blown out by Australians. I'm just bitter because they're hot. Is another piece of this is when my mom came to visit me in Malaysia, we went to, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name right now, but there's an island. You've definitely heard about it before. I'm gonna have to Google it right now. I can't believe I can't think of this right now. Borneo, of course, dude. Borneo. So, Mom and I went to Borneo, and it has 2 sides. Actually, it has 3 sides, maybe. But like in terms of countries, you have Indonesia and Malaysia. Like share some stuff. That was cool. That was really cool. Really liked that. We stayed in Kuching, and the vibes is right. And I think the Indonesia part of Borneo is also probably really cool too. Like jungly, foresty, good food. So. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. Too many Australians. Listen, I'm a Kiwi, at least by passport. So, I'm going to be racist against them, but just not my vibe. Too many hot, tatted men who drink too much and have shredded 6-pack abs and surf. So, fuck y'all. And yeah, I have a real allergy to like the life coach, spirituality, chakras, like super groovy white girl with dreads who's going to upsell you on her like $10,000 coaching program, and who's trained to be a shaman. So like those types of people like love those places, and so it just does not gel well with your boy. But so it goes. In terms of like the Indonesian people there, super cool. I had some really cool experiences there, but like it's hard to get around. You gotta have a motorbike. I'm not a big motorbike guy. I always found, and the traffic is crazy. I felt like I was going to die every time I was like driving around because it's just insane. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Not my vibe. India, the last place that I have on my Southeast Asian vibes. India, properly rated. India's hard. India, I think, is overrated when it comes to like, maybe not overrated isn't like the right word, but I feel like in terms of like, oh, it's a nomad place you can go. Like, India is hard. I had 3 cities. Bangalore, this is why it's properly rated for me. Bangalore, I think, is overrated. There's like this tech hub, was way too much for your boy. I'd traveled a lot by that point, and I was like, I can't do this. Did not love Bangalore. I went to Mysuru, which is like an hour away by train. Loved Mysuru. It's like a cool little city. It's where that type of yoga is from. I like that a lot. And then I went to Delhi, and Delhi I really liked. It was like dirty. It's an apartment I probably lived in with the most roaches. They're just like, they were crawling up my foot while I was in the kitchen, and like they're all over the place. Mysuru too, and Mysore, like, I don't love roaches, but it was like a good learning experience on like trying to like cohabitate with them. And then Dharamshala up in the north for the Buddhist meditation retreat, and then spend some time after that. And India's just hard, dude. Like, I think it's a beautiful place. I think it's like heart-wrenching. It feels like you're kind of on an acid trip. I've never done acid, but I'd assume that's what it's like on an acid trip. I've done mushrooms. I've eaten mushrooms and done ayahuasca, and it feels like you're just like, you just don't really believe it'll be like, you'll be walking through like a market at night, and there's like these like decadently dressed women and like guys like turning little meat over on a spit, and like really stoked that you're there, and kids playing, and it's like beautiful. And then you go down like half a block, and there's going to be like a mountain of like a block, actually city block, just like pile of trash with like, there'll be like on fire with like goats walking on top of it, like just posted up, and like yellow cows just like in the middle of the street chilling, goats on top of the cars, just like, you're like, what is happening right now? And the amount of poverty and population, because there's so many people, and the amount of poverty is like soul crushing in a way. That it was really, that's what I mean. It's like, it's the most beautiful place you'll ever be, and the most heart wrenching at the exact same time. And so, properly rated. Dharamshala to me is like overrated, because it's like, that's such a wild thing to say. It's such a wild take, because that's like where it's like one of the most spiritual places in the world. That's like where the Dalai Lama lives. Not for me. I didn't love it. It was like it's like up in the mountains. Everything's like, you're like in the Himalayas. It was just like the power's always cutting out. You're always walking uphill. I was just like not comfortable. I got super sick. So, and the amenities too are like very minimal. And so I was like lying. It's cold as hell too, because you're in the mountains. So I'm like lying there, bare ass naked on just like the bathroom. It's not like they have a toilet. It's like, it's like they're like squat toilets basically. It's just like a hole in the floor, and they don't have like a shower. It's just like a bucket. You like pour water over yourself. And so I'm like there, like terrible food poisoning, like shivering on the floor, butt ass naked, like terrible food poisoning. And then I like crawl into my bed, and I turn on like my heated blanket, because I didn't have a heater or anything. And like the heated blanket catches on fire, like actually like starts like flaming. Overrated. Properly rated. India. Okay, Latin America. I'm going to try to wrap this up, because I know this is becoming too long for a podcast. Mexico, Oaxaca. This is where I started my journey 5 years ago, started learning Spanish there. I think Oaxaca is like properly rated, if maybe a little overrated, but I think that's just because I spent too much time there, because I spent a lot of quarantine there. That was when the pandemic popped off. So I was there for like probably just too long. 6 months. I would not say spend 6 months in Oaxaca, but it's a cool city. If you're going to be there, I would say go to the beaches. Puerto Escondido. is like a couple hours away. Go to a beach, enjoy Oaxaca, beautiful people, amazing food, very distinct food. It's super fuerte. Like it's like a lot of chocolate and it's rich and it's a lot of like beans and cheese. That's where mezcal is from. I was like, is it mezcal? The mezcal. It's mezcal. The mezcal is the ceremony. It's just like, it's in your face, but I love it. And they have tlayudas, which are like these big, almost like how you think of like a quesadilla in the States. It's like this big, amazing. You're gonna get food poisoning, but you'll thug it out and then it'll be fine. Oaxaca, I think probably rated a lot of like old Canadians out there, gringos, a lot of gringos, old Canadian people, like white women with old, like white hair and old guys with beads and shit, but it's cool. I fuck with Oaxaca. Guadalajara, I think is underrated. I think that whole like, I take it back. I was gonna say that whole West Coast is underrated, but it's not because, what's that big ass? There's a big ass beach city out there that people love. Is Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta. I haven't spent much time there because it's just not my vibe. It's like movie stars. It's like very LGBTQ, like a lot of gay guys out there. Which is cool if that's your thing, but like it's just like again, like that leans on like the nightlife vibe, and that's just not my vibe. But like Guadalajara, I loved, and I spent a lot of time out there. That's when I was dating the Mexican mom. She was super cool, so she showed me like parts of Guadalajara that I didn't get a lot of to experience much, and so like I don't think. Guadalajara might be properly rated because there were parts of it where like I did go back later. I was like, this is cool. Like again, a cool place to live, but it's still, I think I'm going to properly rate it. Actually, I'm going to resend it. Like, because there are only a couple barrios that like a lot of people tend to live in and it can get kind of small, kind of fast, but I liked it. I like Guadalajara. And of course, it's like Mexican food, tapatios. If you're going out there to date, like tapatios, like the people from Guadalajara, like notoriously gorgeous, like supposed to be beautiful. But the cool thing about Guadalajara is then you get access to this whole coast. So you go up and then there's Puerto Vallarta, which I'd say skip it. And then you come to, and there's another beach, like little town right there that like everybody goes to. And it's like all gringos, skip it. You keep going north though. And then you come to San Pancho, and San Pancho was really cool. And you keep going, like the farther north you go, like the less populated you get. And some of those little cities on the water, I took my mom out there for another adventure, and that's also where I went with the Mexican mommy. And really, like it's good prices, good food. You can hang at the beach. People aren't going to harass you the whole time. Like in Puerto Vallarta, and it's just like we got massage on the beach. It's just again great experiences. The vibe was right. So that whole west coast, I love of Mexico. I don't know a ton about the South other than Oaxaca, but then Central Mexico is my jam. So these I'm going to kind of wrap up together. Mexico City, Querétaro, Guanajuato, and San Miguel de Allende. All kind of Central Mexico area. Mexico City, properly rated. I know it's crazy because that seems like that should be overrated, but it's really not. It's really not, y'all. Mexico City is, I spent the last 2 months there before coming here, and it's the truth, man. Like super walkable, people are super sweet, food is really good. It's like you're a flight away from anywhere in the US pretty much. They have direct flights all over the place. It's a huge hub. Only couple knocks I'll hit on for Mexico City is air quality. The whole time I was there, me and my girl both kind of had a little bit like throat irritation just because the air's not great. Surprise. And the traffic gets bad. I forgot how bad it gets, but yeah, it's rough. You like sitting there for like an hour and a half at sometimes. So traffic was brutal, but still probably rated. I love Mexico City. Querétaro. I'd say Querétaro's still kind of like underrated for real. Like people are going to go to San Miguel de Allende. They're just going to skip it like on the way there. And it's a cool spot. Like my girl didn't love it. I love Querétaro. It's beautiful. Again, your experiences there. Like I had a really fun, when I was living there, I was dating this girl there. And like you're seeing a common theme. Like these times around like having like a love affair in these cities, then like the girl gets to show you around and you just get like a cool vibe of the city that you wouldn't normally get. And so like I remember we go on dates. She took me to this jazz club. We'd like sit on her rooftop and just like make out and like what, look at the stars. It was just like she took me these like cool little taco spots, and like Querétaro in the nighttime is gorgeous. Like in Centro, it's gorgeous and gorgeous. It was just like really cool. Like it was just, again, your experience makes it or breaks it. But I went back recently with Lena and still loved it. I love their food too. It's safe, like cobblestone streets. The weather's right. It's clean. I love Querétaro. I might go, yeah, I'm gonna hit that. If I didn't say it was underrated, Querétaro's still underrated. And then San Miguel, I said overrated, but that's my take. Too many gringos, too expensive. Washed out. Colombia. Home away from home. Mi gente Latino. I'm kidding. I love Medellin. This is also a hot take. I still think Medellin is kind of like underrated. Like, yes, I'd say properly rated because people obviously know about it. It's in the nomad circles. But I still don't think people really be knowing about Medellin. Like, it's just, I think people come for the wrong reasons. And the experience is not, like, I'd say that's why I think it's underrated for having, like, I don't want to say a real experience, but like, because I'm like even in a community like that. But there's so many reasons why I love it here that I don't think you get if you just come and live in Poblado and like try to like do drugs and like fuck the girls. Like it's not the same. And so, yes, the people are beautiful. It's facts. That's why I got this little Colombian wifey, dude. Colombians, I think, are gorgeous. The people are just beautiful here. Like, that's just what it is. That said, part of the culture, there's a lot of the culture I still don't really fuck with, but like, that's every single culture. Like, there's parts that I love and there's parts that I don't. And so, but as a whole, I think it's like, it's the whole picture again for what matters to you. And so for me, I love the climate. I never have to wear anything. Like I have a little windbreaker. I never have to wear anything heavier than a windbreaker. If you go out into the mountains, then yes, you will. So I have a jacket for that, like a little North Face joint. But like, if I'm just like bumming around like Medellin, living in Medellin, I never need anything more than windbreaker. And I never really have to wear pants. I'm not a big pants guy. If I could, I'm just never be wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants right now. I'm kidding. I am. So like climate, I love. It rains a lot. But because of that, it's not like a super cold rain. Like I was in Istanbul recently with my mom, and it was raining and so cold. I was so cold. I don't get that cold here because it rains, but it's still like a nice tropical climate. Because it rains so much, like everything's always growing. It's super green. They have like a phrase in the park that I forget what it is. It's like, it's like, I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's like everything's always growing here. And it's the truth. And so it's like, you'll just be in a restaurant and there'll just be like a huge tree in the middle of it that goes through the roof, that they'll have built the roof around the tree. And like the one thing that Medellin I don't think has that I really miss, other than a beach, is like big parks that are green. It has a lot of parks, but they're like city parks. It's missing like big green space like you'd find in like Buenos Aires or like Mexico City. These are just like huge green spaces, like a Central Park type of jot. I don't even know what that last word was that I said, but I love Medellin, man. I really do. Now that I'm back here, it's so nice to be back. It's convenient. Some people don't feel safe. I feel safe. You just kind of got to learn how to move. I've never had any problems here. I've had things stolen, but not like off my person. Just from like, they say, no dar la papaya, like don't give the papaya. It's like, don't let people take advantage of you. And it's just like, it's often like windbreakers, little things like, I'll just like not feel, I know this is going to sound childish, but like sometimes I don't feel like carrying my windbreaker. So like when I'm walking around the park, I'll just like chuck it under like a shrub or something like that. One time I just like hung my backpack on a tree. I was like, I don't feel like walking around with this backpack, and like people take it. But I've never had any like violent assaults or anything like that. I did the times that I felt most uncomfortable have been in Centro. Like Centro can get strange, especially after dark. I remember it was maybe like early December. I was with Lena. She wanted to do this volunteering event because in Colombia they have these like special days where they do like special holidays, and they have like this like Dia de Velitas, where it's like this candle celebration. I don't really know what it is. Lena loves it, but we were going to go to one, but it was in Centro. We were going to meet her friend in Centro, and Lena, we'd spent the day like in Envigado, which is like a little city outside, and Lena was looking fly. She's looking good. She had a little skirt on, legs out, titties was kind of out. And I was like, baby, I do not feel comfortable like with you right now. We were in the cab, and the cab driver like locked the doors. It just felt like at certain points in Centro, at certain times at night, it feels like post-apocalyptic, like almost like some share like 28 days later, where it's like little fires are burning and like people sitting around like with like poking them with sticks, and like guys running around like sweaty with no shirt on, crazy hair, like drugged out. So, you know, every place has its blemishes. It's just like kind of in Latin America, like Centro tends to be a little bit nutty, but that's kind of how it goes. So people good, food good. They have a lot of Western food. I don't eat a ton of Colombian food. I like Colombian food, but it's like I'd say it's like pretty, it's not like anything's gonna like, whoa, gonna like blow your hair back, because they don't love spicy. And so if you like kind of used to like spicy, a little kick, but it's good. But it's like just solid, healthy meals, which is nice. But I'm not like, oh my God, that empanadas, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, yeah, it's good. But like they have so much other good food here that I'm not really tripping. People, yeah. Infrastructure is great, like easy to get around. People are super cool. So yeah, I could rave about Medellin all day, but I won't. Other places in Colombia, Cali, Colombia, I'd say overrated. I know this is weird because Cali's like kind of in the cut. Again, just my experience. I did feel like I was in danger in Cali. Like, what? Maybe it's just the hood that I was in, like that I lived in. But like Medellin, I'm not like, well, who's watching me? Like, I'm on my P's and Q's, but not really that crazy. I am in Cali. Like, it just felt much more like you could just feel there was a lot more desperation there. Like guys like eyeing you, like, you know what I mean? Like walking home at night, like just kind of like always kind of just wait. I have to be like on, and I don't love that feeling. And I don't feel that way in Medellin. But people were cool. It's hot. Cali's also really hot. Food is good, but it's also kind of, I don't know. I didn't love it, but it's cool. It has its own style. So I'll say overrated, as crazy as that is, because I don't think a lot of people even still know about Cali. But again, just my take. Bucaramanga, I'd say underrated. I don't think people even know about Bucaramanga. It's in Santander. It's like in the north. I love Bucaramanga. It's like the city of parks. I don't think I spoke to one person the entire month I was there. So it's not like they have a big gringo community. Like I said, I'm a social camel. Like, I don't need a lot of like social interactions. Like some people, they're like, I gotta hang out with people. I can like just send voice notes with friends, maybe hop on the phone a little bit with friends, and like I'm good for like a long time. So like if you go into a community, don't go. But it's beautiful, and that food in the north in that region, I love that food. Santanderiano, I think it's like that. So I love that food, dude. They have their tamales. I think it's tamales that are like special fire. Loved it. Underrated. Cool, clean, safe, beautiful, good infrastructure. You probably need English because they don't speak, like they don't have a lot of gringos, but that's also really cool too. It's like you're kind of special out there because they just don't see like gringos out there. So I like that a lot. Bucaramanga, I'd say Cartagena overrated. I don't really fuck with Cartagena. It's like, it's beautiful because you're on the water, but everybody's coming up asking for stuff. It feels heavy too. Like the history of the city, you can kind of feel it if you're like in tune with that. Especially I was like shitting on spiritual people before. Like you can, when you're in tune with the energies, when your chakras align. I didn't love Cartagena. So that's me. And then other Latin American cities, Brazil, Rio, properly rated. I love Rio. I love Rio. We spent 3 months there last year in different barrios. Rio is fire, dude. Like, people are cool. Yes, it is dangerous. Again, you like definitely have to mind your, like, just, you know, you got to learn how to move. But it's like beautiful. People are really sweet. Brazilian food, I will say, I don't love Brazilian food. I feel like that's, did you hear that? I feel like I got like some sort of timed out thing. I don't know what that was. Some beeping. Don't love Brazilian food. Sorry, Brazilians. But they have plenty of Western food there, and they have like good fit. If you like into fish, like that part I love. But like the typical, they have like this, like, I don't know. There's just like some weird part of Brazilian food I don't love. I don't fuck with. But I love it. You're right on the beach. It's like so much beach. You can hike, tons of hiking around. I love it. Floripa, overrated. I know, that's just your boy, but it's the truth, man. Like, I like, even if I'm not going out, I like to feel like there's more going on. Floripa is just too sleepy for me. Like, it just feels too beachy, sleepy, kickback. That's why I love cities like Da Nang, when you have like, in Rio, like you have the beach, but you have the city. So you have like the energy of the city. You feel like you're in like Jurassic Park when you're in Rio. And there's like these big type of birds that fly around. And they have a huge lake too, like right smack down in the middle of the city. It's like awesome to walk around. It's just so much water. And Floripa, I also find it really hard to get around because there's like normally just like one road that like goes, again, this comes down to like convenience. You can rent a motorbike, cool, but like I'm not a motorbike guy, so I have to call like taxis. It's just a thing. So Florida overrated. Lima, I say properly rated. The food is so good in Peru. I need to explore more Peru. Lena and I still talk about that trip. We spent 2 weeks there. Good infrastructure, easy to get around. Again, we were in like the really nice part of, I forget, like the bougie part of the city. I forget what it's called, but you're right there on the water, like these big bluffs. You can bike along, you can walk along, and it's like cool little like artsy part of the city. I love Lima. Properly rated, amazing food. Buenos Aires, I'd say properly rated, if maybe a little overrated. I hate to say it. I don't love Buenos Aires. Beautiful city, so many parks, amazing food. But my experience has always been like the people. I've like struggled to really enjoy the vibe. The vibes is off. But it's cool. It also gets cold to me. Like when I was talking about like that rainy, wet, cold, like that definitely is a piece of it. Like in Rio, it gets rainy, but it doesn't get cold that same way. Actually, I'll take it back. We went in the winter. It did get a little bit cold. I'm lying. It gets a little bit cold, but like Kia handleable cold. In Buenos Aires, like I just don't feel that same way. And the keys, like everything's, because it's old, like they have these crazy kind of like skeleton keys. I know this is like very minute, but like you have to like just getting the key into the lock is like its own little like labyrinth thing. And you have to like get it in and twist it, and you can't. I'm like, why can't we do some digital shit, dude? Like why are we still so old with the fucking locks? So yeah, beautiful city. Beautiful city, amazing park culture, like huge, sprawling green parks. You're right along the water. Food is incredible. I don't love it. Europe. Porto, Barcelona, Istanbul, Antalya. These are places that I've either like stayed for a week or two at a time. Porto, properly rated. A lot of hype about it in the nomad community as duly. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. Yes, it's earned. Beautiful place. Lots of nomad community. People are cool. I wouldn't say people are like super sweet like in Mexico, but people are cool. They're like a little gruff. But I'll fuck with it. Barcelona, I love Barcelona. I mean, probably properly rated because it's like everybody loves Barcelona. But I've been trying to get back there for a long time. And it's, again, beautiful. These little tiny streets. I don't have to, you've been to Barcelona, I have to tell you. Istanbul. Overrated. I know. Shoot me. I didn't really fuck with Istanbul. I think I went during the wrong time. But like the mosques were cool, but like I don't know. It's just I wasn't like, oh my God. Like I don't know. Food was good. Again, I wouldn't say the food blew my hair back as crazy as that is. But it was good. And then I loved Antalya though. Antalya, I actually think is like properly rated. That was like, we went to the south and it was like, again, might be a weather thing, but it was much warmer. I felt like I really liked their old city. It was way fewer people and I found the people just sweeter. Like, I think part of it too is just like culture shock from like, I'm just not used to like that like the Middle East, like Balkans area. And so that whole like Eastern Europe vibe, Middle East vibe is just different. And it's like the people are kind of a little bit more like aggressive, but also like standoffish. And it was just, I missed the warmth of like Latin America. And so I think it took me a bit to kind of adjust. It was just felt more like gruff, kind of brusque in a way. A lot of big eyebrows, a lot of cats. Food was cool. I think if I went back and the weather was right, the vibes could have been right. But Antalya was gorgeous. And my mom and I like walked along. They're just like miles of cliff edge and just like beautiful sea and just like snow-capped mountains in the distance. And just the speed of life was a little bit more, I think. It wasn't like sleepy beach town because you have like the city, but you're on the beach. But it wasn't like the craziness of like Istanbul, which you feel kind of like you're in New York. You know, it's madness. And everybody's trying to like hustle you, which I just don't always love. Part of it is probably I didn't also speak the language, but that's my 2 cents. Okay, y'all, 40 minutes. I'm done blabbing. Get out of here. What are you doing still? Listening to me talk. Thank you so much for your time as always. Where did I get this right? Where did I get it wrong? Let me know. Send me a spiteful direct message and we'll chop it up. All right. Appreciate y'all as always. I'll check you on the next one. Peace.